My name's Brother Luke DeMasi. I'm 28 years old and I'm from New Hampshire, United States. I'm a member of a religious community, the Servant Brothers of the Home of the Mother. I joined about 6 years ago. We're a community that's we're defined by our love of the Eucharist, of Our Lady, and our work with the youth. We do a lot of apostolate with the youth. The new evangelization, when I hear that, I just think of the same evangelization from all times. Just we have to bring Christ to people. People don't know Christ, and for me, it's changed the language. We have to try to get the language of the people today, what they're speaking, what they're into. The whole realm of internet, TV, and movies, that is like a big. For me, that's a big aspect of the new evangelization. If we can infiltrate and get the same language that they're speaking and get in there with the message, so it can be attractive. For me, the big killer for the new evangelization and us Christians and how we present it is boring. We can be boring, and if we're boring, no one's gonna receive this message, and no one's gonna want it, because the message in itself isn't boring. It's fire, and it's the salt which gives flavor to everything. So if it's coming out boring, it's us. There's something wrong that's going on with us. So definitely try to just present it as it is in our lives and make it attractive in that way, because it isn't in itself. And so transmit the beauty and the attractiveness of the gospel in today's language. In our evangelization, a big weapon we have, a big strength, is our community, because we're a community of brothers. Like I was saying, not buddies. It's not just a bunch of friends together, but we're actually brothers. There's a unity, a community, and so just that in itself, when the people see that, it makes them think and ponder that it's actually possible, a commitment, and to have a real relationship with another. So just that in itself, like when the people see that we have unity, that we have a real brotherly love one for another, and we're ready to do anything for the other one, that in itself speaks a lot. But concretely, like going down to an example or a style that we have of our apostolate is summer camps. We do a lot of summer camps with the youth. Right now, I've been doing some in Spain, just from all over Spain. The guys come in, and they're usually younger guys or whatnot, but you only have a couple weeks in these summer camps. So what you try to do is first, get them to realize the values, the human values, basic values, so you can build on that. Get them to clean, to wash up after themselves, to be polite, to have manners at the table, all that, just so you can build a base, and then from there you can introduce the seed of the gospel. An example that I saw last year actually had to do with an older guy. He wasn't one of the kids, but he'd come to the summer camp that we'd have every day, and he would pray at one of the chapels that was there. It was in an old monastery, and every day he would come with his dog. He was kind of crippled. He had crutches, and it looked like he'd suffered an accident. He didn't have use of his left side of his body. As time went on, we kind of got his story. We kind of like got close to him and see what he was all about. He was very, he always kept his distance, and the little dog he had with him was always like barking at the kids. He wouldn't let anybody near him. He was 25 years old. He got married. He had a good job. And 2 weeks after his wedding, returning from the wedding, his mom and his sister got in a car accident and died, coming back from his wedding. And then 2 weeks after his wedding, he has this brain hemorrhage. His his wife said to him that she's like, I didn't sign in for this. This isn't what I was thinking. I gotta take off. Angie, we'll call him. I gotta leave you. And so he's there in the hospital. He's got no use of his body. His wife just left him. His mom and sisters are dead. And the first thing he thinks about is like, why is God doing this to me? What's going on? I was always a good person. I didn't do anything wrong. So little by little, he started like getting his health back, and this is when we knew him about 10 years after this accident. He was still pretty badly crippled, but he could walk. You could see a change in him. Something was actually having an effect on him. He started, smiling. The kids would go getting up next to him and whatnot, because we had told him beforehand, like, look, this guy he suffers, you know, you guys need to make the effort to go out to him and show him your love and be nice to him and whatnot. And they did do that. They responded very well, and the kids started going up to him and they'd go around him and whatnot. And that had its effect on him. And he, one of the last days of the camp, he got up and started speaking to us, and he said that, this was after buying us all ice cream and pizza. He said to us that the guys, the kids in the camp had such a great impact on him that he felt like he needed to go to confession, which he did. He confessed after about 20 years. He went to confession and he started coming in. He said he wanted to get closer to our Lord now, just from what he had seen and the attitude these kids had towards him. And this is after so many years of, you know, the pain, because he was really suffering, and he had suffered a lot. And looking at his life, he definitely had received a lot of blows, you could say. But just the joy, the unselfishness and the charity that these kids were showing towards him, and they actually made him feel loved and everything. So for me, that was a highlight. That was a moment of, and a simple thing, just being nice and getting close to this man. That they actually had such an impact that he confessed and he wanted to get back onto the right track. I wouldn't say that I've ever actually suffered for my faith. I mean, you might get the typical like insult, or they say something about you, what you're wearing or whatnot. But you know, after seeing or hearing about these Christians that literally are being crucified right now in Syria, there's people actually getting tortured. They walk into a public place, and if they're found out that they're Christian, they could get pulled out of their car and literally butchered right there just for being Christian. And so when I think about like these insults or whatnot and suffering, I can't compare it to what it's actually going on with our brothers in the faith. So I think that's really important for us to. We have it over here. We have it so comfortable. We have it easy. If it's just these little insults, to actually think of what it is to suffer for the faith, I think we should get more into these people's stories and find out what's going on over there, because those guys are really living the Christian life. Well, for me personally, I got the message, and I heard of Jesus Christ, and I heard him pronounced and proclaimed in a lively, attractive language. So for me, if I've received it, I can't keep him, and it's actually impossible. You got to give him out. It's almost like if we were in a desert and you're the one that has the fire hydrant. It's like people are dying, and there's got to be this sense of responsibility that we have to get this water out to the other people that are actually longing for it as well. There's a desire that everybody has to have this gift, which is Christ. He's alive, and we have to let people know. We got to show people that he's alive, and they can't have him. I don't think there's hope. For me, I don't. I see the things that are going in society, and people, the men that are getting into power, the further we're getting away from these Christian values and Christian traditions, and the shame that we have of it, and they're trying to just suppress it and ignore it, which you see the consequences. Things are terrible. The abortion, contraception, the whole lobby gay, where people are going with this. This is all fruit of getting away from these roots, these Christian roots. So, humanly speaking, there's no hope. It's just bad. It's going bad. But for us Christians, which we do have the hope, we do have the light, we do know that this isn't the only life here, that there's a life after this. That is the only hope, and that's the hope that we have to give people. They got to see that it is possible to be married for this whole life. It is possible to have a family and stay together. It is possible to give your life to the Lord and be happy and be fulfilled. All these things are possible, and it's the only hope we have in a world that really there's no hope. My strength, it's in the fidelity every day to prayer, and my life of prayer. When I start seeing that I'm not praying, or I'm starting to get, further away from my conversations with our Lord, you can see right there that you just start lose your strength, and you don't have the desire, you don't have the strength to actually do what you need to be doing. So it's the closer I am in my relationship with our Lord, and everyday prayer is the more strength I'm going to receive.
If you would like to participate in the next program of Cast Out Your Nets, sharing your testimony of apostolate and evangelization, visit our website at www.eukmami.org for more information.